Hey guys, how you doing? So today I am going to be doing a porosity, showing you how to tell if you have high porosity hair or low porosity. And basically what that means is um, the cuticle of your hair is set up like shingles that lay on top of each other. And so if you have high porosity, that means the cuticles are open, which basically means that you receive moisture easily, but also the moisture goes right out easily. So your hair doesn't really keep the moisture, or whatever it absorbs, it doesn't stay within the hair to give it the nourishment it needs. Also, low porosity means that the shingles of the hair or the cuticle of the hair is tight, so they're not letting anything in. So sometimes that's kind of hard too, because if your hair never opens up to let the moisture in and give you the nourishment it needs, then your hair may be dry as well. So um, I guess a good medium would be if it's in the middle somewhere. But a test to see what kind of porosity you have would be to drop a strand of hair into the water, and the strands that sink to the bottom are high porosity, and the strands that float on the top are um, low porosity. And then that kind of will let you know. Sometimes you may see some strands that may float in the middle for a while. And so if that's the case, then that means that you're kind of in the middle, which, you want to, I guess, more so be not necessarily low porosity where it's tight and won't let anything in, but you do want to have a little bit of leeway so that way you can at least get the moisture in when you need moisture. So I had pulled a couple of strands of my hair, and you cannot see it, but I don't even know if you can see it. But anyway, I got a strand. So I'm just going to drop it in the water. And I'm sorry you guys can't see it. Let's see if I put it in my little book so you can see. See, there's the strand. See, that's my strand of hair. Another thing that you can do to test is you can pull your. I'm just going to put a few strands in just in case I don't get the same result from one or the other that I'm looking for. As of right now, mine is floating. Let's see if you guys can see it. This is a strand. So I'm going to see. I'm just going to put it in. Let's see if you can see that. Can you see these strands? Okay, one's hanging off the side. Look. See it? You see they hanging on to the top. So as of this moment, I have, you see them floating. I have low porosity, which is a good reason why I have been dealing with dryness. Okay, see, you can see mine floating. You can see them. Another thing that you can do to test your porosity is you can have a strand. I already had some strands that were hanging, so don't think I'm plucking it from my scalp. But anyway, you can run your hand. So this is my strand. Let me just put that right here. And find the top. The top would be where the bulb is. And that's another thing. How you know your hair sheds normally would be if you run your hand along the strand and you have a bulb on it. That means it came straight from the root and it just shed, which you're supposed to have hair shed. You have hair shed every day. But also with shedding hair, you can run your finger from the bulb down because that's how your hair grows. And you can feel where if there's any kinks or if there's any bumpiness to it, that or you kind of feel the texture of it, so that can kind of give you an idea of how your hair is doing. So from what I feel, my hair is pretty smooth from the root, but as I get down towards the ends, they feel a little, I feel the texture, like the bumpiness. So that means that the cuticles are raised as I get to the bottom of the hair. See, it's smooth, smooth now. It starts getting a little bumpy. So that means the cuticles are raised. So more than likely, I have a combination of porosity, low porosity, and high porosity. Feel like with the bottom, but as of right now, my hair is still floating. I'm gonna put that one aside. It's still floating. So there's nothing. It's a tight. That means it's low porosity. So that means having a harder time getting the moisture in to the hair, not staying in. So that means if I get the moisture in and my cuticles close back up, it's going to stay there. It's just that I have to get into the cuticle, which more than likely means that I would need to use heat or steam to open up my cuticles to make sure that I get the moisture in. And so that also tells me that when I do a daily moisturizing, because the moisture is having a hard time getting in, then I'm not, even though I'm moisturizing daily or every other day or a couple of times a week, it may not be doing me any good because I have low porosity. So that means that I would want to look at my wash day, my shampoo day, and really strategically use something that would moisturize the hair from shampoo, conditioner, deep conditioner, hot oil treatment. Those are the things that I would need to concentrate on, and I would probably want to do that a little bit more often. So that's just a quick little lesson. A friend of mine was doing a porosity video with hers, and I'm not sure if she did the water test, but I did want to show the water test because it does explain a lot. So as you can see, you see some of my hairs that were they're starting to sink a little bit. That will probably be the ends, and the part that's floating would probably be the part that was on that same strand that would be above, coming from the root down, and then the ends would probably be the ones that are sinking. So usually do this for about 2 minutes or so. I believe it's been at least 2 minutes, and that's how you can tell if your hair has high porosity or low porosity. And if your hair is dry, more than likely you have low porosity because there's nothing getting in. And also, that's another indication of low porosity as well, because whatever does go in, it goes right out just as easily. So your hair doesn't actually keep the moisture the way it should. So both ends of the spectrum are not the best to be in, but you would want to try to work on that if you have either one, high porosity or low porosity. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Hopefully that will help you, and you guys have a good evening. Bye bye.